All right, so we're up yesterday was on amendments. For those of you here the past few, you know that one has pieces to it. Pieces are for press, petition, religion, and speech. All those things listed there. All right. Your speech is not unlimited. Say whatever you want. Lying, you can't engage violent overthrows, and can't induce. Amendment allows us to have a regulated militia. What's a militia? Yeah, it's the military. Where do you think they get the military from? Militia. All right. And it allows us free to possess and carry firearms, may open carry most firearms in any state in the United States. Amendment this allows the government from housing your homes, except during the war. Amendment gives you reasonable expectation of privacy. So what do officers of the law need? There's one of the things in order to your home. They need probable cause, a warrant, or your mission. Any of those things. Probable cause needs to be that they believe a crime has committed, not that crime be committed. What is it when they believe it could be committed? Reasonable. That means they can pat you down. What's going on? Make sure nothing fishy is happening. At number 5, a lot of things. You can't do a serious crime. There's enough evidence. If you're innocent of a crime, you try for that same thing. What's that called? Double jeopardy. Double jeopardy. Did I talk about the movie Double yesterday? There's a movie called Jeopardy. A man frames his wife for his murder, collects the life insurance, and runs away with his wife's best friend. His wife serves her prison sentence, and when she's out, and does kill her, who's not acting. What can be done about that? Absolutely nothing. She's already served her time and found guilty for murder. She's free to murder him because she's already been charged and served that for that crime. So charged with it again. I don't think so. I'm not. No. So if you are found in a crime and you do that sentence and you get it and wasn't committed, there you go. Nope. Because she's already been found guilty. Sorry? You can't. It's in by then. Murder charge, very specific. Right? And amendments, I believe this one, correct? All right. These rights in guarantees you have the right to defend yourselves. To defend yourself, have somebody else do it. Have a lawyer do it. And what recommendation? Always have a lawyer present when you're with law enforcement. Guarantee to speedy trial in part jury. So that is designed so that authorities cannot hold you unnecessarily time. And as Tyler acutely pointed out yesterday, it happened to Nelson, who looks a lot like Morgan Freeman, believe he was held in unnecessarily out of time since he spoke out against government. Government from silence for holding them years without same thing. Nelson Mandela. He accused the right to continue when unfavorable publicity arises. So if there's a specific area and in that area there's publicity and you're not going to get an unbiased jury pool, then you can move the trial and the accused right to know the truth is being brought against. You have to you're being charged. They just arrest you and right now these 4 here are not very long. Right? They're very to the point. Amendment 7. Give to a jury in federal courts to settle disputes about property worth more than $20. $20. So does anybody know this actually? This case is worth about $21 or $22. At least paid for it. I don't know. It's worth more. Who knows? Right? And if Chris steals this, because you're right in front of me. All right? Hey, that's mine. Say, no, Chris, that's fine, give it back, right? What's he gonna say? No. Okay. So what do? Well, I go to the court system and I sue, and they say, oh, no, Chris's. I appeal it, and I state court system, and they say, oh no, that's Chris's. And then I appeal it to federal court system. What they're going to do is they're actually going to pull in a bunch of citizens like you and I, a jury that is going to determine who has ownership of this case that is 21 to 20. Be very right. So if your jury decided the case, you've got to $20 and like, if you don't make me sit here and listen to this pen, I will give each of you $20 and I'll walk out, right? But that's not the way it works. Keep in mind, this is court, and also keep in mind $20. The 17 cents was about $1 today, a little bit. So there, a judge can rule instead of a jury, but only if both agree. So can someone think of an example? Judge rules on civil cases instead of a jury? There's few examples that come to mind. Yeah, it's like Judge Joe Brown, right? How many of you want something interesting things about Judge Judy? Number one, she's the highest paid TV actor of all time. Like 1.3 million an episode or so. Okay, she makes a ton. Second, her husband is also a judge. Her husband, his own TV, alluded to shut down his TV show, and did it. And while she was colluding to shut down his TV show, she divorced him, took out everything he had, and he didn't get still practice after his TV was done, and after he wasn't going to pursue a year and TV ring, they got remarried. Yeah, that's petty. That's pettiness right there, right? That's pretty much, can't be the center of attention. You're not the center of attention. It's pretty much the opinion, unhealthy relationship, but it's okay. All right, amendment number 8. Amendment number 8. All right, so first, you ever heard of pneumatic devices? You say that's similar to what you're saying. It gives you sort of remembrance. The one number 8 is a little brutal. All right. So, Amendment 8 is basically cruel or unusual punishment, right? So I wouldn't say a lot of you, but some people have the opinion that individuals who commit crimes should be punished the same way that they committed their crime, right? For example, if you murdered somebody, you are going to be killed. If you chop somebody's hand off, you would have your hand chopped off, right? Right, or your property, whatever it may be. But the easy way to remember 8, since it's sort of in the middle of all of these things, and you don't use it a lot unless you spend time going in and out of jail, the 8th Amendment says you can't eat people, right? If somebody ate a person, are we allowed to fry them up and serve them to other people? Absolutely not. 8 can't eat. All right? That's cruel and unusual punishment. It's cruel and unusual punishment. It does a few other things. It provides excessive bail. So over our dispute here, took my case home, breaking and entering, criminal offense, not civil, he can have his bail set at $10 million. It was the only thing worth $20. There was no violence. He didn't create anything. It was a huge problem, right? So you can't set his bail at $10. Thank you. Not to set it at something reasonable on the crime was. The judge sets the bail in an amount that ensures the accused will attend court. But when the trial's over, whoever posts bail gets back. And I know in this talked about bail and bonds a little. Bail is the higher amounts posted immediately. And remember what I said on bond? Don't post it for your mother. Don't post it for anybody. Because they're late or missing a single time, you lose every dime. All right. The worst part, first one, and I guess as well, are bonds. Bonds are where you pay 10% of the bid, and then you the bonds in, or the bondsman, they pay their 90% of your bid. And then if that person shows up, you give them the 90% posted. Right? So if bail $1,000, you down $10,000, a lot of money. That's it. And whoever you post for decides not to, it's not on them, it's on you for $90,000. And bail aren't as people who loan you, your wage is going to get garnished, which means they can take up to 90% of your wage. Like you get a paycheck, cut it by 50%. They take it. Like you don't even have a choice. Totally legal. So if you made $30,000 a year, after you're looking at like $24,000 a year. They're going to take 80% of that, so you're bring them about $24 a year. So do you understand? I'm telling you, never post bond or bail for anyone ever. Okay? If they potentially committed the crime, just let them sit in jail, or let somebody else take that risk. All right? Understand family blood law, but different blood type too, okay? You know what that, all right? A judge can't hire poor individuals to work fines with long sentences. What that means is go to the courtroom, say, for example, urination, as long as it's not the wrong place, like around children or schools or anything like that, it's not a criminal. You go to court, you pay a fine. Speeding tickets are as well. You go to court, fine. You can't pay that. Well, you can't just throw you and say, oh, I can't pay the fine. Well, jail, work off your fines, and then come back, right? How many know that prisoners, prison system, have to be paid for their while they're in jail? It's not a lot at all. More than 10 cents, $1, maybe $2 or so. But they have to be. Why they have to be? Because there's a fine line between and slavery. You pay them, it's not slavery, right? And what can they spend money on? Well, I'm thinking, oh, they're just gonna stuff at whatever prison because Orange is the New Black and got this false and that they can buy stuff that they can buy, or food or whatever, right? But what they actually pay for is prisoners charged a daily fee for simply being in prison. Absolutely. A lot of you don't know that. Prisons are free. They're free. The prisoners have to pay for them. After they get out of prison, a legal taxpaying job, they take some of their pay to pay for their time while they were in prison. Okay? Some people think you don't do this. It's actually true. It's a real thing. But the thing is work that time, let's say someone on death row and they have a job making something, every dollar that they make go to the family person they killed in a civil suit. But problem with that, you get to choose whether they have jobs. If you're on death row, right? So, there's things. Actually, the stereotype in art is pretty true. A lot of license plates. Almost all the Ohio license plates are produced in the Lebanon Federal Penitentiary. Yeah, yeah. A weird story. Actually, have a friend in prison, a guy I went to school with. A guy who was staying house I was really good with college, and I got a phone call from a family that said he killed his mom's boyfriend. So his mom's boyfriend wasn't a super nice person and didn't great things. He was on the couch. My friend did. So he's actually, believe it or not, same cell block Chardon High School that happened near Cleveland, Chardon, Ohio. So he makes license all day. So I know, it's pretty weird. Since I'm learning, I won't say his name, but you can look him up on public records. He's from West Virginia, and he has a common name. So you can figure. Amendment number 9, super states that rights in the Constitution retained by all the rights that we talked about, right? Only have those rights. No. Okay? So once you're done typing this, I want you to look up here at, because this idea can be confusing, and I don't want it to be. I don't want to be confused by this idea. No. So that all other rights not only in the Constitution retained by the people. Are we looking? You ready? All right, I'm getting some here. Okay, what this means is if you're not given the right to do it in the Constitution and not illegal, you automatically have a right to do that. Does that make sense? So it's not already given in the Constitution and it's not illegal, you have the right to do that. How many of you got to choose whether you walked, drove, or rode the bus to school today? Right? Is it right that's given to you in the Constitution? No. Is it illegal for you to use any of those three? No. So you have the right to use. Simple. It's super, super simple, right? Any big thing, illegal, right. All the other small things, you have the right to do. So if you're ever in an interaction with somebody who's enforced law, understand that anything that's not illegal is your right. Now, some of you are probably, we talked about driving the other day and how driving not a right, right? You own your driver's license. Car is most free to search on the inside of the flashlight without any permission, as long as they can see the things, all kinds of stuff. However, driving is legal or illegal. They have laws on it. So not something that is your. The reason that Amendment 9 is to prevent government from claiming only rights that have as citizens that are in the Constitution. So what they do is only have 1 through 8. You only have those rights. Any other rights? Yeah, nothing. So that you wouldn't get to choose you come to school, or you want to choose your clothes potentially, or you want to choose which kind you buy, or the shoes that you wear. Because you have those rights, the government can say any law that they want to make as long as it doesn't violate those rights. Fathers thought about this and, well, we want the government to be able to legislate each and every little thing. We're going to include them in 9, which forces them to recognize that if it's not illegal and it's not a right, they have the right to do it. Amendment, last one. Any laws not given to the federal are given to the and then to, okay? What that means, this is the reason, this goes along with Article 6, Supremacy Clause of the Constitution. Federal government always overpowers state. This goes along with that. If the federal government has the power, they have the power. But if the federal government doesn't have the power, then it goes to the state. So it's probably looking for an example, right? Well, the federal government has powers. It can raise an army. It can values and measures, right? Maritime laws at sea, have all of those powers. But does the government have any power over education? Because the word education doesn't appear in the Constitution, and therefore the government has no power. So where does the power for education go if it's not federal government? To the states. Each individual makes their own policy. Some of you are probably saying we have a Department of Education, we federal education mandates all the time. You're absolutely right. But here's the issue. States don't have to do that. Whatever they want. reason that states usually follow those federal is federal mandates say, hey, here's $10 if you follow what we want. Here's $10,000 if you do what we want to. It's kind of like the drinking age thing we talked about earlier. Every state in the United States has their drinking 21 because the federal government does so. Each gets to set their own age. Set it at 21. The federal government gives a bunch of money to maintain their roads as long as they're drinking age at 21. The same thing. Now, what if the states take that power? What if the states say, we don't want that power? Where does it go? To you as rules. It's an example of that. Example. The federal government say that you are allowed to buy. Yeah, absolutely. You're allowed to. You're not allowed to buy guns and certain permits, but you're allowed to buy. Do they switch guns by brand name, not by brand name? Do they only buy Glock or Sig or Smith & Wesson or M&P? No. You just say you can't buy automatic firearm, incendiary weapons. You have the proper permitting, right? Class 3 for fully and a Class A for incendiary. It's you pretty much military officer or police officer. All right. So what that means is that the federal government has the power. They could say only gun manufacturers allowed to produce here. That's borderline moving in socialism, but they could, but they don't. The people then, because your state can say anything, now it goes to you to decide which gun buys the best. It goes when you're buying shoes. You can buy whatever you think are best. Buy whatever car you think is best. All right. So it's sort of a down effect. The top doesn't use, and it to you, then you get to decide. All right. Good. All right. The notes.